self-esteem and it's positive, one is better if you don't have self-esteem and you're shy and you're inhibited. So look at the options and weigh them in terms of which is the important thing to do right now in your life in making that particular decision. What's the likely outcome if you make this decision? What's the likely outcome if you make that decision? What would be the problems? Well, what would be the failure if you made it one decision versus another decision? These are the things that you help the child think through in your decision-making process within the family. You make families, or you as a parent make decisions for the family. Start teaching your children to make decisions for the family as well, for themselves as well, for their friends. Say decision-making is an extremely important concept. Now, their feelings and their passions. You know, kids have feelings. Kids have passions, things that they really want to do, they really love to do. Know what those are. Help the child understand their feelings. Help them understand their passions. One way to do this, if a child says how they feel, tell me on a 1 to 10 scale. Is this something you feel very strongly? That would be a 10 or a 9. Or is this something you only feel a little bit about? That'd be like a 1, 2, or 3. Or is this something like in the middle? It doesn't matter. Help the child kind of not only express their feelings, but put some value to those feelings. Put some measure, to those feelings. Help the child know what are the strong feelings they have and what are the more weak or insignificant feelings that they might have. What's the passion? What is the 2 or 3 things that that child lives for, will die for, will work for, will just make that as their life goal and really work for it? That's passion, you see. Passion leads to careers. Passion leads to positive relationships. Passion leads to marriage. Positive leads to intimate relationships. You got to have that kind of sense of passion for somebody or for something, as compared to it doesn't really matter whatsoever. That means you're going to be withheld from your social relationships and you're not going to be very ingrained in them or very committed to them. So feelings and passion are very important. Help the child understand their feelings. Help the child put value to it, put some measure to it, and put some emphasis on it. And then affirm their feelings. Their feelings are good. Feelings are an important part of life. Now, if those change over time, those will change. Allow those changes. Maybe you might even help some of the feelings change from positive to even more positive. But make sure that that feeling is recognized and appreciated and valued, and you commend the child for expressing a feeling, even if you don't agree with it, even if you feel differently, as a parent. Okay, and then lastly, our number 8, compassionate care for others. You want your kid to be a compassionate child. You want your kid to be a caring child. You want your kid to be sensitive to the feelings of other people, to the plight of other people, to the problems of other people, and have compassion. Whether that's the homeless in our community, and you let them have an orange or an apple or some fruit that they can eat rather than just giving them money, or you direct them down to the Fresno Rescue Mission, which is one of our sponsors, by the way, and let them get a night's rest and a shower and something to eat and social relationships and maybe even a home, maybe even a job skill, and maybe even a career that they can now enter. So direct them into some source that can be of help to them. That's compassion, you see. That's being part of the life and the plight of other people. Enter into it, but do something that would be of help to them in the long run, in the future, not just now, today, for the moment. So that's compassion. And then you got to teach self-management skills, right? You got to teach self-management skills. That's very important, in the area of emotional intelligence. Teach them to calm down, to relax, deep breathe, just calm down. Take things slowly. Talk slowly. Just let their muscles relax. Like a rubber band, it's stretched, but let them relax it, and so they returns to a natural position, which is a state of relaxation. Let them relax the upper body, the shoulders, the arms, the facial muscles, the stomach muscles. Teach them how to just calm down and relax so that they are better able to enter into a decision-making situation or solving a problem or whatever it might be. Teach consulting, asking people for advice, asking people what other people think, getting opinions from other people. That's consulting others. We all do that throughout our life. We ask what other people think, get opinions from others, and then we form our own opinion on the basis of what we hear and what we think, all right? And then break a problem down into its parts. Every problem is big, it's huge. Break it down into small parts and just solve part of it. And then you'll move on to other parts of it, and eventually the whole problem, will be solved. But most of all, learn the idea of relaxation. Okay? So emotional intelligence is important. Very important. It's the basis on which you will experience an increased level of happiness. It's the basis on which you will experience the ability to lead others. It's the basis on which you will feel competent socially. You'll have social competence and confidence, if you will. And you'll have less violence in your life. You'll have less stress in your life. You'll have less hurt in your life. If you live a life based on social intelligence, as we just now been speaking. Anyway, those are the empathies. Those are the social intelligence factors: empathy and social responsibility and compassion and impulse control and happiness and optimism and self-awareness. I mean, those are all factors that we teach in the area of social intelligence. Your job as a parent, get a hold of those and teach them. Okay? Now, before we go, I'd like to end with a little quote, the tip of the day, that might give you just kind of perspective on what we've been talking about today. Here's the tip. Every parent is given the opportunity to build something beautiful out of the pewter given them. Now, say it again. Every parent is given the opportunity to build something beautiful out of the pewter given them. And that's the lives of their children. The lives of their children. That's the pewter. That's the pewter. And you've been given that pewter, and you are to make something beautiful out of it. Remember, a baby cries by nature, but you teach that child to smile. So just make sure that that's kind of part of our life, part of your family life this week ahead of you. Go to my website, booksbyhedberg.com, pick up the book, Dr. Teach Me to Parent. Come back next Saturday, 10 o'clock, and we'll pick this up again. And have a good week. Nice to have you with me today, and bye for now.
Sometimes good intentions hurt rather than help. For just $1.76 per meal, the Fresno Rescue Mission offers more than food. We offer hope. Please donate today.
Hey there, world! I'd like to introduce you to someone really special and really cool. This is my mom. My mom is an amazing person. She is a writer. She is a newly transplanted Texan. She is a woman of faith, and she loves 80s music. She also is a person with a very rare genetic muscular disorder called Pompe disease.
Pompe disease is a terminal, progressive illness. It's a genetic enzyme deficiency which ultimately leads to the destruction of your skeletal muscles. Those are the muscles that control how you move, your arms, your legs, and your torso. When your jaw or esophageal muscles are affected, you can no longer eat and require a feeding tube. When your diaphragm is impacted, you can't breathe on your own any longer and require a trach ventilator. When your legs are impacted, you will no longer be able to walk without assistance. You can lose bladder and bowel control. It affects children and adults, and eventually it kills you. It is rare, but it's real.
Now, we're lucky. My mom's still able to walk, though she uses a cane to get around most of the time. She's still able to breathe unassisted, but she can't go upstairs, and she needs some kind of assistance to get up from a seated position, like if she's sitting in a chair. She has to examine every activity ahead of time to know if there are things like handicap parking, accessible buildings, and even functional bathrooms. All of her activities depend heavily on the weather. A windy day can be just as dangerous as an icy one. She jokes that you can tell what kind of day she's having by whether she can lift her arms high enough to do her hair. And she recently moved into a one-story house specifically with the idea that she's one day going to need a wheelchair to get around. those are the kind of things she has as everyday concerns. Her normal everyday fears are things like dropping her keys or falling in public and not being able to get up. That actually happened a couple of years ago. She fell and fractured her pelvis because she was unable to break her fall.
I receive an enzyme replacement therapy every 2 weeks for life. It's a 6-hour IV. It helps slow the progression of the disease, but it is not a cure. And it costs about $100,000 every time you sit in the chair. Insurance takes care of most of that if you're lucky, but not everyone is, and the expenses add up very quickly. Things like wheelchairs, accessible vehicles, special housing, travel costs to medical conferences, doctor's appointments, and clinical trials. Luckily, there is a group that helps families with Pompe handle these costs. The United Pompe Foundation is a group connecting funds with real people who need help. This was founded by a father whose son has Pompe disease, and they could not find the resources that they needed. They assist patients and their families with medical costs and other expenses that they need to survive day to day. Every little bit helps.
There are a lot of things in life that we really take for granted, and sometimes the scariest things in the world are the things that you can't see. So today we're asking for you to help us shed a little light on a rare and scary disease. Please share this video with your friends, your family, strangers, anybody that you come across. Education is a big thing. It makes a big difference. And another way to make a really huge difference in someone's life is to go check out the United Pompe Foundation. Their website is in this video description. Click on it, check it out, and go ahead and donate some money if you're able to. Again, this is an organization giving real help to real people who are amazing and need it, like my mom. I love her, and thank you so much for helping us out. Thank you so much.